Okay, good evening everyone. How are you feeling today at this moment? Great. Still full of energy, right? Okay, before we dive into my topic today about the power of thinking in questions, not answers. It sounds a little bit complex, right? I want to have a very quick survey about your future career. I'm going to ask you 3 simple questions. If the answer is yes, please raise your hand. Okay, let's start with the first question. Do you want to graduate with a clear direction of your career? Wow, almost everyone. The second question, do you want a career path that guarantees equal pay for equal work? Even more than the first question, surprisingly. And the final one, maybe the most important one. Are you seeking a role that aligns with your passion? Aha, thank you very much. I see many hands. I believe that we all want these things, right? But getting them depends on how we start today. My name is Nguyễn Đặng Trường Huy. You can call me Mark. I have international MBA from Paris, France, and I have the postgraduate diploma level 7, equivalent to the master level from London, UK. So far, I have 21 years of professional experience in marketing, business development, and management across telecom, technology, and education sectors. I've been working 8 years in Europe and Singapore, and 13 years in Vietnam market. And it's truly my honor to be here today to explore this amazing topic with all of you. Okay, in cognitive science, there is a popular quote from Dr. John DeMartini. He's a human expert, an educator, and a best-selling author with the focus on maximizing the human awareness and potential. The quality of our life is based on the quality of the questions we ask. Don't you agree with this quote? Not yet, I guess. Okay, let's find out. Imagine that we apply that into these important questions. I believe this is the most important questions to the final year student. As many of you are saying here, which career path should they choose to be successful? Whether you ask these questions on Google or you put it on AI model like ChatGPT, or even when you ask your parents, what we often get, that's I call a smart answers. So what is a smart answer? It's going to be like this. You will receive some of the recommendation or the answers that, okay, you should go for the AI, you should go for the IT, or even just become a salesman because it's trending. The salary is high and the demand is huge. This is ring any bells? Or when you on social media and you see that your friends flexing about internship opportunity, about the job offer, and you feel panic, right? You're feeling that I'm falling behind and I have to have something. That's exactly the moment when you fall into the trap of the smart answers. Why? Because smart answer logically, that's correct, right? And it's safe. And it's accepted by the majority. Everybody knows it. Everybody do it, and we see that everywhere. But here's the problem. Smart answers is usually about general success, not your success. Don't you agree? It's successful as someone else, it may not be applied to me. So the smart answers is great, but it lacks personalization, and many times it doesn't match your true aspiration. That's the problem. So something is missing here. That is what I call a wise answer. You may ask, what's the difference between a smart and a wise answer? Different from the smart answers that come from the outside, the wise answer comes from the inside out. It asks us to answer those questions, the deep questions, just like, does it align with my value? Will I still love this work in the next 10 years? Or even that you may ask, does this role, does this career make a positive impact to other lives? Let's have a look at the education system. In traditional approach, we see that there's just one-way communication from the teacher to the student, right? And the student just learn by heart. There's rarely questions, discussion in the classroom. Actually, during my time, I was one among the very few students in the class always ask stupid questions to my teacher. But because I want to understand better, not just giving the information from the textbook or from the teachers, that everybody else. In modern approach, we can see that there's the difference because it's an interactive communication where the teachers or the lecturers having the back and forth communication with the student. And by that way, our student, a modern student, learning by doing, not just listening, not just reading from the textbook, etc. So another example in business world, what we often see is that the smart leaders often tell the team member exactly what to do to get the quick result. And the team members, what would they do? Just doing, because they are commanded to do that. In contrast, wise leader, they ask the team member for ideas, for thought, and coming up with the suggestions that they can take responsibility for. And that team, I believe that you can imagine, they always challenge the status quo. And that team would make something very big. So in short, smart is about speed and wise is about direction. And it doesn't matter how fast you run if you run the wrong way, right? So the question is, if the wise answer is better, why do we rush for the smart and quick answer? We know this is not really good, right? So based on science research, they give us two reasons. The first one, brain growth. Are you familiar with this keyword? How many of you here heard about brain growth? Wow, a lot. Okay. Yeah, that's the Oxford University Press Word of the Year for 2024. And it refers to the mental deterioration. It's caused by excessive consumption of low-quality information that now we may call it a junk content. And the catch is that when we accept the first and safe, quick answers, that create almost a similar effect to our brain. And this is a form of intellectual laziness. It's reduced significantly our critical thinking capability. From the research from Microsoft Canada in 2015 on consumer attention span in the digital age reveals a shocking fact. You may have heard it somewhere in the internet that the average adult attention span has dropped from 12 to 8.25 seconds. And the more shocking thing is that the goldfish attention span is 9 seconds. What does it mean? It means that during the modern era, when we rush for the quick and low quality information, our adult focus capability even less than a goldfish. Let's look at the second reason. It's called cognitive closure. There's one fact that our brain hates uncertainty, and we are looking for just any answer, even the temporary one. And back to the questions we have from the very beginning about your career. Not knowing about your future career is really scary. So at that moment, your friends will scream, I need answers. Any answers? I just need answers so that I stop worrying. That's what happened in our brain. So the catch for cognitive closure is that when we're picking a career just to relieve the anxiety, it's trigger our cognitive closure. And what happened? That means we're closing the door to all opportunities before exploring it. And it's cost 30 to 40% more about impulsivity and higher anxiety. In short, when we stop thinking, we stop creating. And when we stop creating, we stop innovating. Another stat I want to share with all of you is from the CBN side. They have research globally about the top 12 reasons why many startups fail. And in the top 3, we have one stat that relates closely to our topic today. That is the 35% of the startup around the globe, they fail because there's no market needs. What does it mean? It means those startups fail because they have chosen the wrong answer from the very beginning. Why? Because they develop the products, they offer services that even exist. So, the biggest question now is how to find a wise answer. I want to share you a very simple principle that we call it understanding other perspective, understanding yourself. It's inspired from a Vietnamese wisdom that I believe that many of us would know that. Biết người, biết ta, trăm trận không nguy. It's originated from the art of war, from Trường Huy. So from this principle, it consists of 2 bars, as you can see on the screen. A horizontal bar is about the understanding or the perspective. And the vertical bar is about understanding yourself. To help you understand better, here's the illustration of our principle. And we call it the T-shaped questioning method. This is one of the 3 component pillars of the system thinking program from OKR Business, one of my companies. As you can see here, right? The vertical bar and the horizontal bar. Okay, let's start with the understanding or the perspective, and we apply to our questions. Which career path should I choose to be successful? So we start from the right in the middle. We list down 3 to 5 options about the career that you're curious about. Option 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we reach out a similar person. That could be your close friend or even your sibling who knows you well and ask these questions. When have you seen me at my absolute best? That would be the point of view 1. And then we're reaching out another person that they call different person. That could be your parents or your professors or even your mentor. And ask the question, what is my one strength that stands out to you? After we have all of the answers, all of the options, this gotta be look like this. And the most promising one usually lies in the overlap or the intersection. Let's say, for example, you have some of the feedback that, okay, I think you have a great creativity. You are a logic person and you are a great problem solver, for example. So the intersection that could be marketing, just for instance. Now, from that point, let's say marketing, then we start the vertical board, that understanding yourself. Ask 3 to 5 times the questions of why. You may be familiar with the principle of the 5 why, right? So this is not a way we can answer that 5 whys. So I think that 3 to 5 is good enough. Let's say we have 3 why questions. The first one is about ask yourself, why is that important? For example, like, because I'm good at creative and I love to create content. And why does that matter to you? We may have the answer that because I love to bring value and improving life through the product and the service I create for the audience or my user. And the last why would be, so why this career? You may have the answer that because my core value is integrity. And I want to be the bridge between the real values with the human needs. By the time you reach for the last why questions, you not just found an answer for your career. I believe that when you apply this, you discover your mission. By the end of the day, we all agree that life is not just an exam. That's not simple as an exam. And there's no fixed marking scheme that some of the quick answers, just about the right or wrong, 1 or 2, that could be the best for our life. That's not just simple, and they are never enough. So my message is that when you leave this home today, when you're facing any challenge in your life, do not settle for the quick and popular options. Instead, find your collaborative closer, draw that T-shape, let's just share with all of you, and be open to welcome the other opinion, or the feedback, or the suggestions, and most importantly, be honest to ask yourself the questions why, and answer it genuinely. Because we believe that the power of thinking lies in the right questions, not quick answers. Thank you for your attention.